My fiance said he'd dump me if I cheated, and it's really upsetting me.
OKOP. This is OKOP. I'm Samuel Donner.
And I'm John Frye.
And we tell the funniest stories on the internet. And John, can you please tell me something funny to uplift my spirits in this dark, tumultuous time that we call the present?
My fiance said he'd dump me if I cheated, and it's really upsetting me.
Oh, what?
Let's dig into this bad boy.
Wait. He said he'd dump me if I cheated?
If. Keyword.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Buckle your seatbelt and get ready for it. Get ready for it.
All right.
Okay. OP acknowledges you. Yes, this sounds very strange. No, I haven't cheated. Just to cut off that. My fiance and I have been together for 7 years. So, not nothing.
A while.
We were planning on getting hitched last year, but the pandemic kicked that out of the window. And now that's on indefinite hold as we both agreed we aren't so bothered by the notion of marriage, and we want to wait until we can have the massive blowout wedding where everyone can attend, that everyone is so keen on, and that we've saved for. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, makes sense.
Wait to where we can have the big celebration. One of the things we've had in common right from the start is we both are the same type of person when we're drunk.
Okay.
An interesting commonality to share.
You got I have drunk buddies that I love to drink with.
Yeah, true.
I'm not necessarily sure of a marriage material.
Yeah.
You got to spend a lot of time not drunk unless you're trying to have liver cancer.
Yeah.
Or liver problems, liver failure.
Leave a pretty corpse, as they say. We both get really tactile and flirty and lovey-dovey with whoever happens to be around. Boundaries go out of the window a little bit on that front.
Okay.
Interesting.
Nice.
So, when we both got together, a large part of our social life was parties with lots of booze. But shortly after, I got an internship, followed by job after job after job that wasn't compatible with that lifestyle. So my fiance had a period of about a year where he would attend all of these parties without me before he also got a job that meant he couldn't go out anymore. During that time, I later found out, while drunk, he kissed/made out with some random women. And this happened on...
Wait, women?
Women. This happened on 3 or 4 occasions.
Wow. That's a bomb to be dropped.
So he made out like OP's partner, not OP. OP's partner made out with a bunch of women. 3 or 4 people.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So OP says, I didn't find out until after the last one had happened, shortly before he started the job. While I was upset at first, I later realized it wasn't the act that upsetted me. It was the implications of it.
Well, I like that he lied. And
exactly.
He wasn't forthright about what he did because he knew it would have consequences. Like, you have to be honest. Right, in that relationship, and honesty, like there can be mistakes, but honesty has to be at the center of that relationship.
You have to actually put in some amount of work. If a mistake happens, you have to actually put in work, and like part of work is like being honest and coming forward and like, okay, like I don't want to be this person and I want to, improve and be better.
Yeah.
OP adds to that sentiment. She says, normally when people cheat, it means they aren't happy or want to leave their partner, right? But I realized this wasn't the case here. He was none of those things. He was just drunk and happy, and those women happened to be present and willing. Wow, quite a perspective. I wouldn't say I was enthusiastic about it, but once I made that jump, it felt like no biggie, and I probably would have been okay with it happening again as just part of the standard night out for him if it had happened again. Like, some people get drunk and have incredibly intimate heart-to-heart with random folks where they reveal things that they haven't told their partner even. And I think I'd probably be more upset over that than a little tongue action.
Very progressive take on this.
It's an interesting take. Basically, like, I'd rather, you have some random meaningless like make out than like bare your soul to someone in a way that you haven't bared it to me before.
I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I understand maybe giving a pass for making out with someone, especially if you're having a more progressive relationship where it's maybe a little bit more polygamous.
Well, they haven't agreed upon that. That's
they haven't agreed upon
it. They haven't agreed upon it.
You would have to have that
window.
agreement.
Yeah.
So it's still like a little bit of lying, especially if you have an agreement that's not going to happen. So that's a little bit of a questionable territory. But I don't know. I think bearing your soul to people while drunk is fine.
Yeah, that I don't know.
You can have intimate conversations with anyone. Like I have intimate conversations with strangers I meet in the street all the time.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. In a good way, by the way.
In a good way.
In a good way.
No tongue action, though.
No tongue action. Well, just tongue action of talking.
Yeah.
You know? Tongue action of the
Exactly.
soul, not of other regions. But the job happened, so he didn't do this with anyone else. And bearing his profuse apologies at the time, it didn't really come up again. None of this came up in years. Actually, until last week, where we were discussing another post on this very subreddit, and he suddenly busted out the belief that cheating, any kind of cheating at all, is totally unforgivable and an instant relationship ender, no matter the length of time or circumstances surrounding the incident.
Huh.
There is never any excuse. Cheaters are all morally bankrupt and horrendous human beings. It's practically abuse, etc., etc.
Seems a little hypocritical. Seeing that you made out with 3 to 4 girls on multiple occasions.
I'd be like, oh, right. So you are a morally bankrupt, horrendous human being that deserves an instantly ended relationship.
Yeah,
of
dude.
course.
Why are you arguing against yourself, man?
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, there is a clear misalignment of views right here. OP goes on to say, now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's lots of folks out there that would say this hard line is admirable and exactly what they would want to hear. But for me, this gave me pause.
Yeah, because your boyfriend is being a hypocrite.
Bro, he's fucking slanging that tongue all over the place. I did point out, oh, here we go. Now, I did point out that if that's the case, what does that make him based on those actions years ago?
Buy a mic, I'll drop.
And did that mean if I got up to the same stuff now that he did, he would end it with me? Oh, here we go. It's getting good. His response that because he was young and stupid and it wasn't the same if I did it now, then yes, he would dump me because I'm not young anymore and I don't have this excuse. Bruh,
Seems like a double standard, my guy. Seems like a double standard. She gave you a break.
I need to find curse words that I can say to describe people on TikTok.
Yeah,
you fiddlestick.
He's a buffoon.
You freaking nincompoop.
Nincompoop's a great one.
And we've tabled it since then because honestly, it really upset me and I'm struggling to get him to understand why. I don't think that those incidents were because he was young and stupid. I think now that they're reflective of who he is. We've been drunk together in company since then and he has flirted with other women during that time. Even if he ended up focusing on me by the end of those nights. So it's not like that's not part of his personality and it's not present. So the thing is, it's not like that's not part of his personality. He just hasn't had the opportunity to make out with someone else again like he did in the past. It feels like I did a lot of emotional work back then to accept him for who he is, and he is not willing to do the same back for me. Yeah.
Yeah, she gave him such a big break,
dude,
bro.
A big break. And just like, I mean, think like the way that she described that like emotional journey she went through, like she clearly was like, went through it to finally reach this very forgiving ground.
Like I understand like where she sees the mesh between it. Like they're both very flirtatious personalities, like pretty bubbly, but like taking it to making out with a bunch of people, especially if you don't have that agreement that that's okay, it's just lying. And like lying is not a part of any good relationship ever. Lying,
and also like it's just the amount of extreme hypocrisy coming from him
so
right
much
now.
Hypocrisy.
And just like how unfair he's essentially being. OP says, honestly, I'm really hurt that in his hypocritical world, one drunken smooch would be enough for him to pull the plug on 7 years of our shared lives together and everything that we've built. When I loved him enough that multiple incidents and hiding it from me wasn't enough for me to pull the plug on less than 2 years.
Yeah.
Am I making sense? Is this me being strange or him being unforgiving or both of us some fundamental incompatibility that we've somehow never noticed? In my darker moments, I've even wondered about calling myself off and ending the relationship because if he values it so little, I'm just setting myself up for failure. But then again, is this me overreacting?
I'm not sure it's an indicator that he values the relationship so little, but I think it's an indicator of him being a huge hypocrite.
He's not treating her right, essentially.
No.
Boil it down. Like that's very, very unfair treatment from him. Because, you know, if OP was ever in his shoes, then he would, you know, immediately probably pull the plug in a really nasty way.
Yeah.
Where she gave him
then
so
put
much
all
grace.
the blame on her. And
All
that's
the
not
blame.
That's
All
not
the
fair
blame.
at all. It's not fair.
When you could literally say Quantify did like 3 to 4x worse than if
I
she
know,
did it once.
3 to 4 times. It wasn't even once. It was 3 to 4 times she forgave every single time.
Putting some math on it.
Yeah.
You freaking nerds. I guess I just need to hear someone else's thoughts on this because I really don't want to have to expose his cheating years to my family and current friends because, highly ironically, I worry about it negatively impacting their opinion of him.
Yeah. Wow. She's like, even in this moment,
she's still
thinking
being
about him.
uber empathetic and worrying about his well-being. OP,
not the a-hole.
Do it for yourself, girl.
Bruh.
Listen, do it for yourself, girl. Whew.
Damn.
Whew.
But you know what you should always do for yourself too?
Oh, man. Subscribe to OKOP.
Subscribe, follow the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, the YouTube channel, the TikTok, everywhere you go.
I've heard that people have struggled through their finals and OKOP helped them through it.
That's true.
You know,
it's true.
People are taking long, grueling road trips and binging all of our episodes.
Yeah, and so we appreciate the support and we want to get you through these tough, boring times with a little bit of humor and a little bit of a smile.
Yes, we do. See you next time.
Wink.